So, believe it or not, the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 5 is an awesome phone, and I'll go and show you exactly how to use this device. Now, it's a pretty basic phone. It's a lot of, complex stuff. But if you've ever used any other Android phone, it's basically the same exact way of using this one as well. Now, first things first, it does come in a folding format. So, do keep in mind that this is the unfolded way when the phone is basically like this. But you can also fold the phone up by kind of folding it just like so. Then you have the cover display. So this is the cover display, the other way is the main display. So I'll go and show you this one too. I mean, it's a pretty basic one. It works the same exact way. All the same exact applications and everything that you have on your main display are also visible and available on this one. And if you've ever used any other Android phone before, it's basically the same exact process of using this one. It's just a little bit longer. Now looking around this phone, we do have our displays here, like I mentioned. At the very top, there's really nothing going on. It's just like a speaker grill and some microphone holes. At the very bottom, there's just the charging port, so it's just a USB-C port. Then we have another speaker grill right here as well. On the left side, we don't have anything except for the Samsung logo right here. And then on the right side, we basically have a few more things. So we do have our power button right here. We have our volume up and down buttons right here as well. But at the very top, we also have our SIM card tool. If you want to, you can also just go ahead and kind of insert your SIM card as soon as you get your phone. And you can do that by basically getting your SIM card eject tool, just like how I have it right here. It comes in the box of your phone. If you don't even have it, you could probably use some sort of small needle or some small pin that can basically fit into this hole right here. So whenever you want to, you can just kind of slide into this specific hole right here and click it right into place. Now when you do that, this little panel is going to come up and it's going to pop up right there. And what you can do here is you can basically just slide this thing up. So what you can do is you can go and basically pull this thing out just like so. And then you'll see this little thing come up. So what you can do here is two things. One, you can insert your nano SIM card right there. You can also insert an SD card if you really want to as well, which is really cool. So you have that type of option here. So you can insert either one, either or, and you can basically slide it into place right after. So whenever you do that, just go and slide it in just like so. It takes a second. And once you slide it in, the phone should discover that SIM card. Now, what we can do here is we can go ahead and unfold this phone. And you can do that by, basically grabbing it on the side like this and go ahead and opening it up. This is usually how I do it. And then you'll see the phone will automatically boot up. Now, this is technically the right orientation, I think, of using this phone, where the crease is like up and down. But if you want to, you can also use it up and down like this way if you want to. In this case, we'll just use it like this for the duration of the video. Now, turning the phone on for the first time, you'll come into the lock screen. So this is what the lock screen basically looks like. It's the normal time thing that we basically have on every Android phone. On the top, you have your status bar. You have your time right in the center. You have your, little phone call icon on the bottom left. You have your camera icon on the bottom right. And that's basically all we have here. It's pretty basic, like I said. There's nothing really crazy going on here. But whenever you're ready, you can basically swipe up from the bottom, and you'll come into this specific panel. Now, what you can do here is you'll basically see a bunch of other information. You will basically see your status bar that's consistent at the very top. You will see, your home screen right here, your widgets if you have any, and some standard applications. Now, there might be some panels that you can slide through, like in this case, I don't have any. So basically what we can do is if you want to move a widget around, you can hold down on a widget like this, and you can move it around as you normally would. Also do the same thing with the Google icon. If you want to change it up and down, you can go and change it whichever way you want to. Same thing with these applications. You can go ahead and move an application from one side to the other. So if you want, you can go and hold down an application like this, swipe to the side. You can also drop it, drag and drop whatever you want to. It's basically just like any Android phone. But you'll see as you swipe to the side, the bottom portion always stays consistent, always stays the same. Now, if you want, you can always go ahead and basically move these applications around too. So if you want your gallery app somewhere else, or if you want this notepad somewhere else, you can go and move it around just like any other app and move it here, and then it'll no longer be consistent at the bottom. Now, to see the rest of your applications, swipe up from the bottom just like so. So I'll do it again. And you'll basically see all the apps that you have on your phone. So you can go ahead and open them up as you normally would, and you can go and play them as you normally would as well. Now, this specific thing at the very bottom tells you exactly what to do if you want to get out of the application. So what you can do is if you want, let's say you no longer want to get into this app that's full screen, you can swipe up from the bottom, and you can basically click on these specific buttons that are on the side right here. So you can go and click on this circle button if you want to go back home. So the circle button is home. The back button basically takes you back. And the three buttons are basically the recent applications. So you can tap on the recent applications and get into this panel. And what's going to happen here is it's going to show you all the applications that you have on your phone. So now whenever you're ready, you can go and click close all and close out of all the applications. And that's pretty much all you're going to have to do. Now, no matter what application you're in, if you want to go back home, you can always tap on the home button. Same thing with messages, same thing with Google Chrome. No matter what application, and if you want, if you're in Google Chrome and you want to go back into a previous application, you can click on the three lines and literally just go back to the previous app you were just in. That's another option that you basically have here as well. Clicking back on the O button, you'll basically come back here. And if you want, you can go and start actually downloading applications if you want to, like coming into the Play Store. So once you get this phone, you can make your way over to the Google Play Store like this, and you can download any applications that you want to. So you can search up whatever games and whatever apps you want to. It's pretty easy. And from here, if you want to search up like Samsung, you can go and search up Samsung just like this. You can find whatever Samsung apps are available inside of the actual App Store. So now you can go and download the Samsung Internet Browser or any other applications you have here. So that's another cool thing that you have within this phone. Now tapping back home, if you want, you can make phone calls by clicking on the phone call button. You can go and click on messages by getting into the message button here. But at the very top, there's your status bar. So what we can do here is we can swipe down from the bottom or from the top, and you'll come into your status bar. Now you'll have your quick toggles right up here, your Wi-Fi, your Bluetooth setting buttons, and all these other panels and buttons and all these things here too. You'll also have your time and your date right up there as well. So you can go and always see your time, you can always see your date by just coming up here. You also have your settings button right up there too, as well as the battery life and all these other indicators up there too. Now swiping down, you'll basically see this specific panel, which is basically like your flashlight. You can toggle on and off. You have your brightness at the very bottom if you want to increase or decrease your brightness. You have that type of option too. You also have a power button here if you want to go and quickly power off your phone. You can search within your phone as well too, which is really cool. If you want to get out of it, you can always swipe out and come into this panel. Now, the other thing I'm going to show you is within your settings application. So what I would recommend doing is hopping inside of your settings app. You can search for it up here, or you can just click on it by coming into your main panel, and you'll come into a panel that looks like this. Now, the one thing about your settings application I would 100% recommend is that this type of application, for the most part, it has a lot of things that are very important, but a lot of things you probably don't even really need to care about. So here you have like your connections, you have your connected devices right here. If you want to, you can go and have things like quick share and whatnot, modes and routines, sound and vibration, notifications. You have your display option here too if you want to change it from light mode to dark mode. If you want to turn on adaptive brightness or even motion smoothness, turning on your 120 Hertz or anything, you can go and disable or enable those specific options within this phone, which is pretty cool. Within your home screen and your lock screen, you have those type of options that kind of modifying here as well. Under advanced features, here's where you can go and kind of modify your S Pen if you have that within the box, which you probably should. You should be able to go and edit up your S Pen here too, which is pretty cool. And then there's a lot of other things, but the big thing here is within software update. So what I'd recommend doing is clicking into software update right there and actually download and installing the latest update that's available for your phone. So what I'd recommend doing here is clicking on basically software update and seeing if there's any updates available for your device. And if there are, simply updating your phone can probably end up fixing and addressing a lot of those types of issues and things that you're running into. So go and just update your phone just like so. And that's another thing I recommend doing too. On top of that, within your recents panel, if you go and click home, clicking on the recents panel, you have that close all button. What you can do here is if you want to go and kind of free up some memory in the background, you don't have to do this if you don't want to, but it's kind of like a decent habit to have. Closing out of your applications or just clicking close all can go ahead and kind of keep your phone kind of decently clean for the most part. And it's not a big deal, it's not going to really change too much, but that's another option that you basically have here as well. So that pretty much covers it up for the most part. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.